UFC 271 Israel Adsaniya vs Robert Whitaker. Start time, how to watch, complete boxing card. Israel Adesanya, after defeating Robert Whitaker in their first match. Mike Roach /Zuffa LLC/Zuffa LLC via Getty Images. UFC 271 is the big one. A rematch between Israel Adesanya vs Robert Whitaker. These kind of fights don't come along too often. Adesanya is the current UFC middleweight champ and one of the UFC's few genuine stars. Whitaker is the clear #1 contender and one of the best pound-for-pound fighters on the planet. He's also the former middleweight champ himself. Both are head and shoulders above the rest of the division. Get the CNET Culture newsletter, explore movies, games, superheroes, and more with CNET Culture. Delivered Tuesdays and Fridays. Adesanya is undefeated at middleweight. Whitaker has only ever lost once in the division to guess who? Current champ Adesanya when the pair first fought back in October 2019. In front of a record 57,000 people in Melbourne, Australia. This is genuinely a clash of the titans. Who's gonna win? The safe bet is Adesanya, who cleanly knocked out Whitaker in their last outing not once, but twice. Whitaker was saved by the bell the first time, but was clocked by the exact same shot the next round and lost the fight. See at ESPN+, but Whitaker has improved since then, implementing a more savvy, GSP-esque mix of wrestling and striking into his game. He's gone on a serious run since their last fight, defeating world-class contenders like Darren Till, Jared Cannonier and Kelvin Gastelum back-to-back. It's been seriously impressive, particularly his last bout with Gastelum. Whitaker has also claimed his head wasn't right going into the last fight with Adesanya. A mix of hometown pressure and dislike of Adesanya had Whitaker fighting out of character in the first fight, swinging for the fences instead of being smarter with his strike. Either way, this fight is going to be a contest fought at the highest level. Can't wait. UFC 271 start time. The UFC 271 main card starts at 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on November 6. Here are all the details from multiple time zones. US The main card starts February 12, 10 p.m. EDT. The prelims start February 12, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The early prelims start February 12, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. UK The main card starts February 13th, 3 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. The prelims start February 13th, 1 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. The early prelims start February 12th, 11 p.m. GMT. Australia The main card starts February 13th, 2 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. The prelims start February 13th, 12 p.m. AEDT. The early prelims start February 13th, 10 a.m. AEDT. How to watch UFC 271. The UFC now has a partnership with ESPN. That's great news for the UFC and the expansion of the sport of MMA, but bad news for consumer choice, especially if you're one of the UFC fans who want to watch UFC in the US. In the US, if you want to know how to watch UFC 271, you'll only find the fight night on PPV through ESPN+. The cost structure is a bit confusing, but here are the options to watch UFC on ESPN. According to ESPN's site, existing yearly ESPN Plus subscribers can order the upcoming UFC card for $75. New ESPN Plus subscribers can buy a bundle of one UFC PPV event and an ESPN Plus annual recurring subscription for $100. This is a decent deal. The ESPN Plus annual ESPN subscription will auto-renew after 1 year, at the price of an ESPN Plus annual subscription at the time of auto-renewal. You can do all of the above at the link below. See at ESPN Plus. MMA fans in the UK can watch UFC 271 exclusively through BT Sport. There are more options if you live in Australia. You can watch UFC 271 through Main Event on Foxtel. You can also watch on the UFC website or using its app. You can even order using your PlayStation or using the UFC app on your Xbox. Need more international viewing options? Try a VPN to change your IP address to access those US, UK, or Australian options listed above. See the best VPNs currently recommended by CNET editors. Full fight card as always. This card is subject to change. We'll endeavor to keep this as up-to-date as possible. Main card: Israel Adesanya vs Robert Whitaker, Derek Lewis vs Tai Tuivasa, Jared Cannonier vs Derek Brunson, Kyler Phillips vs Marcelo Rojo, Bobby Green vs Nasrat Hakparat. Prelims: Andrei Arlovsky vs Jared Vanderaa, Roxanne Modafferi vs Casey O'Neill, Alex Perez vs Matt Schnell, William Knight vs Maxim Grishin. Early prelims: Mana Martinez vs Ronnie Lawrence, Alexander Hernandez vs Renato Moicano, Carlos Ulberg vs Fabio Cherant, AJ Dobson vs Jacob Maucoun, Douglas Silva de Andrade vs Sergey Morozov, Jeremiah Wells vs Mike Diamond. Notification on, notification off. Sport.